Hey, what's up, everybody? Lawler here, your inside source for all things Rocket League. Some new stuff to talk about. Kronovi being the particular focus, finding a new team that he's going to be playing on in the next regional. We've also got competitive Season 1 rewards that have been announced and new titles with that. A new tournament for Beyond the Summit in Rocket League Summit number 2 has been announced. And we still have the Winter Grid coming up today for North America for week number 2. We've also got closed qualifiers wrapping up and stuff coming up this weekend and a whole lot more. So all that and more in this video. But before we get into that, as always, if you guys enjoy the content, make sure you guys hit subscribe and turn on notifications. All that stuff can be found down below, as well as any social medias. If you'd like to drop a follow, can be found in the description with links to all the things that I'll be talking about. With that said, let's get straight into the video. Up first is obviously going to be discussion about Kronovi. He has put out a tweet over the last couple of days saying, should I do the open qual for the next regional just for fun? And with overwhelming success, most people are saying yes. Obviously, some jokes about who he should join and who he should be playing with. But it led to this being a thing that was announced through the subreddit and other various topics. Also signed up for, I think, the Ting Open for Axel Toss. Zero Issue, a team with Falls and Brisky, now has Kronovi signed up as their new third. How this is going to play out, how well it's going to work, I honestly don't know. But either way, Kronovi bringing veteran status to whatever team he goes to, whatever roster he goes to, should make the team better. Zero Issue is a team, if you guys don't remember, through open qualifiers and stuff in regionals, has been close to getting victories and pushing into the top 16. So maybe this will be a new fit. Either way, Kronovi doesn't really do anything half-assed, so it'll be interesting to see how this develops and how it plays out. But again, always rooting for Kronovi as a longtime favorite. Next up is going to be the new post from Psyonix for the competitive Season 1 title rewards. For those that didn't see it and haven't seen it, we do have new competitive rewards coming out for Season 1 and a lot of other things alongside of that. The thumbnail pretty much is what this is on display. If you guys didn't see the rewards announced way back, we've got new decals, primarily the Supersonic Legend one everybody's going for with that titanium white looking nice. But the big focus on this post is talking about the different titles, because in the past they had Season 1, 2, 3 all the way up to 15 or 14 or whatever it was for ranked for the competitive season. They're now, with it being free to play, they're trying to keep everything in sync. So there's competitive Season 1, Rocket Pass 1, everything like that they're trying to synchronize, and because of that, they're changing it. So as it shows in the post, as you guys can see, it has competitive Grand Champs, which will be Season 1 Grand Champion, and that'll be in red text, along with all of the other titles. So apparently it looks like they are going in uniform when it comes to the titles for the new season. So Season 2 might be a different color, but for this time around, if you get Grand Champ 1, I should say, in any of the ranks, whether it be Rumble, Hoops, Snow Day, Drop Shot, or just regular 1s, 2s, and 3s, you will get a crimson text that says Season 1 Grand Champ, Season 1 RNG Champ for Rumble, Season 1 Dunk Master for Hoops, Season 1 Blizzard Wizard for Snow Day, and Season 1 Floor Destroyer for Drop Shot. They then have a different iteration of that for the Supersonic Legend title. These will be Supersonic Legend, RNGenius, Legendary Baller, Ice Titan, and Tile Annihilator, and these will be in a titanium white text. The other thing they're updating with this as well is if you guys have been playing in tournaments and you do have a title in any of the tournaments, whether it be all the way from Bronze up to Supersonic Legend, the title right now says Season 1 Tournament Winner. That will be changing to just S1 to coincide with what they're doing with the titles for Supersonic Legend as well as Grand Champion. As a quick reminder, if you want a fast way to get your rewards, do it in extra game mode. You can get extra game mode rewards pretty easily in stuff like Snow Day and Rumble. And once you get to the Grand Champ or higher in those game modes, the best thing you can then do is try to achieve that title then in 1s, 2s, or 3s, and you will get the same reward level at that point. You don't have to play the 10 qualification matches to unlock those rewards if you do it already in the other ones. Kind of a cheap way to do it. Something Gibbs has been doing for a really long time. And for those that, like myself, don't really care about ranked all that much, it's just an easy way to kind of get it done with quickly. If you'd like to look at the specific details of that blog post, you can find it in the description down below. Up next, Beyond the Summit, Rocket League, or BTS, is going to be doing Rocket League Summit 2. They put out a tweet that says, deck the halls and make it fast. Rocket League Summit 2 is coming to town. This will be on December 15th. Unfortunately, there is no details about the format, who's going to be casting, what's actually happening. The only thing we do know is that it's sponsored by Monster again. It's looking like it's going to be all online because it always is all online, which kind of stinks, but they do have a little bit of a teaser that's 50 sequence. Link to that again in the description, but BTS is always a fun, unique game mode. The last time they did it, they had a typical tournament that went normal, double elimination. You guys should know this is the one that Omelette did really well in over NRG in the grand finals. And then they also had the card selection, the summer shuffle, I think is what it was called, where players and teams picked out a card, and that card then determined if it was a 1v1, 2v2, or 3v3, determined what game mode it was, what kind of map it was on, and stuff like that. Usually BTS has a fun way of doing stuff. They usually do a little bit of Mafia as well. I got to be a guest on that last time, and then Leaf broke my heart. Good times though, and hopefully some sort of involvement again this time. But BTS always an exciting tournament that will be fun to tune into depending on how things play out. I'll keep you guys up to date on the format and stuff when that does come out. Last but certainly not least, the groups for the North American grid for week 2 have come out, and gosh, are they brutal. Taking a look at those, we do have Group A, which is going to be Continuum, United, Energy, and the Peeps. In Group B, we've got Alpine Esports, G2 Esports, Ghost Gaming, and Pittsburgh Knights, deemed the Group of Death. In Group C, we've got Charlotte Phoenix, Kansas City Pioneers, Space Station Gaming, and Version 1. Group D, we've got Jamal Jabari, the former BOSF team no longer signed, Rogue, Sonics, and Team Envy. Going through these, taking a look at Group A first, pretty easy to assume that it is going to be Energy at number 1 and Continuum probably at 3. But the cider between Peeps and E United should be interesting. E United has been trending in a better direction with Tristan and One to Mike pretty much popping off every single time. But for the Peeps have not really performed all that great recently. So a little bit of concern here. Hoping they can bounce back in this group and set themselves up for success in the second day of the grid. As a reminder, the grid, again, 2 days. The first day, groups, nobody gets eliminated. Second day is a single elimination bracket. I will be casting the V1 broadcast and hosting that alongside Supersonic as always. It'll be live on Twitch at version 1 GG if you guys would like to come join us. As for Group B, this is the Group of Death. It's kind of weird looking at this and saying Alpine is probably the least favored. G2 should come out on top, but there is some expectations of Pittsburgh Knights doing what they did just this weekend in regionals with their dominant performance. Curious to see if their defense and everything else can show up. The best thing I think about this group is in the very first round, we do get PK versus Ghost Gaming. I talked about this in my video yesterday. I do think they have similar playstyles, both very defensive on the sides of the field. Despite that, they still have potential for pop-off and having people like Sosa, ZPS, and everybody else kind of come through and create some opportunities. So I am excited to see how these things play out. Ghost Gaming, obviously, another team that created a lot of surprise and shock based upon their performances in regionals as well. So we do get to see them fare off right away, but there could be a chance for upset. There might be a 3-way tie, possibly, I think, 2-1 across the board between G2, Ghost, and Pittsburgh Knights. But again, curious to see how it goes. If I have to go with my gut, it's probably going to be G2, then PK, Ghost, and then Alpine. Coming down to Group C, pretty tough run. I think this is potential for version 1 to show that merit and continue about their trend of how they've been playing with COM. Again, I think this is a difficult one because Space Station, again, has not been playing up to their expectation after the reverse sweep that came from PK and regionals. I do think Space Station is going to have a quick turnaround time and able to bounce back, but it should be exciting. I do think version 1 could win this one straight up 3-0, but they do start off with Kansas City Pioneers right out the gate. I do think they can take that and then have a warm-up match under the belt to go into Space Station. I think Space Station's going to steamroll Charlotte Phoenix. At this point, I think everybody's going to steamroll Charlotte Phoenix, so unfortunate for them. Maybe they play upset, but I do think both teams are kind of getting to warm-up. Version 1's warm-up's going to be a little bit better, and I think they'll be able to play pretty well against Space Station. My eyes are on that round 2 match of V1 versus Space Station, but it could be exciting to see how things start out. Again, I will be covering these for the version 1 broadcast. Come join us if you'd like to hang out and listen to me cast. Otherwise, it is going to be very exciting to see how just overall Kansas City Pioneers, because they've been trending downwards as well, if they can bounce back. If I had to assume, I think Space Station isn't going to stay down for too long. It'll probably be Space Station 1, V1 2, Kansas City Pioneers, and then Charlotte Phoenix. Last but not least, in Group D is Jamal Jabari, Rogue, Sonics, and Envy. Envy, I assume, is going to 3-0 this group. No issues whatsoever. And then for me, between Rogue and Sonics, I just don't know what Rogue is going to show up. Even though Rogue did make it to the upper final of regionals, I just didn't feel like it was something that was recreatable. Rogue, to me, still felt like it was Turin Turo and First Killer doing whatever they could to will themselves into the first place victory. And Taroko just kind of didn't feel all that involved. Now, if they can continue to go kind of reverting back to what they did at the earlier rounds of that regional, then I have a little bit more faith in Rogue. But as of right now, I do think Sonics is actually trending in a better direction. Despite that, I do think Rogue is still going to take second in the group. I think there's a lot of talent on that team. And even though Sonics is looking great with T. Carell and J. Russ, I do think there is still a little bit left to be desired. This could be a team that does play upset, though. I think as they get more practice and more reps together is going to be another team that kind of teeters in that 8 to 10 spot, and potential upsets always in Group D, I think. Jamal Jabari, I think, is just overwhelmed by talent, and this one is going to be at the bottom. But if I have to go with my picks, probably going to be NV1, Rogue 2, Sonics 3, and Jamal Jabari 4. Being more specific, NV3-0, Jamal Jabari 03, Sonics 1-2, and then Rogue 2-1. We'll see how that one plays out. Should be exciting. That is going to wrap it up for this video of Rocket League news. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, as always, drop those down below. Coming up this week, we've got some exciting stuff. Obviously, power rankings are coming back. We do have NA and EU power rankings. Before I put out my final power rankings, which will probably be done on Wednesday, I got to see how things play out tomorrow for the first day of the grid before I give my solidified opinion. Obviously, regionals is exciting, but I want the most recent results, how people bounce back before I kind of solidify where I have everybody in the rankings. Also, we have EU power rankings again the day after that, and an interview with Pashy90 back in the Rocket League scene. We took some time on stream the other day to talk and sit and hang out with him for about an hour. So we interview him and talk about what he's been up to and the grind of being a German-only stream. So pretty exciting stuff there. Things like that coming up and more, as always, on the channel. And if you guys don't already, make sure you guys hit subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of the notifications for the videos. Also, thumbs up if you enjoy the content, and any questions, as always, left down below. But that is going to do it for me. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and we'll catch you next time.